Unity Broadcasting Television don't come for unify, sensitize, and inform salon people home and abroad. Unity Broadcasting TV don't come for developments now we country TV. Unify, sensitize, and inform we all for developments now we nation salon. Unity Broadcasting TV don't come for developments now we country TV. Unify, sensitize, and inform we all for developments now we nation salon. We are independent media house. We dey here for unify, sensitize, and inform Sierra Leoneans home and abroad.
We dey here so for talk, but wetin dey happen? Political discussion.
You for know about salon politics.
Religious messages, entertainment self no go left again.
We no go left nothing behind.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't come.
Salon people that una question, una kabo, una do Chief Commissioner Vandy again in the house. I want to welcome everybody, like I said, the body like machine. All this time we're only battle up with some challenges, physical and health-wise, but praise God, I'm here. In fact, I'll be supposed to go for dinner hospital, but immediately after this program, I go to hospital for health check. Graciously, we come to South Salon. Yeah, we put everything, for make sure say we contribute better. And so I want to welcome you again to the favorite program, the Monolog program. Inside today's program, we will talk about the independence of NEC, and we'll discuss more about the electoral process, registration, voters' education, and the role of partners in election. We will talk about that. We will talk about the issue of APC as a political party, and the reason why we want to see APC really serious, because if we are practicing and we want to get a very strong and healthy democracy, we need to get a vibrant and very organized opposition. But the trend we see, things where they happen, not seem to be very encouraging. We want to see a very competitive process, and but we see, recent happenings that the one we go for reform APC now don't become victim as well, now being sued for contempt. And this is things we have to discuss about. Impunity, taking the laws of the land serious is something worth discussing about. If we discuss about the laws of the land, as a nation, everybody knows the value of the nation is the laws that govern the nation. And so if you not adhere to waiting the law dictates, then you are a threat to the security and peace. So we'll talk about that. And we'll talk about inflation. Long before this time, we talk about this new currency, the things we go make the inflation continue for God. We tell us, people them will be done take salon couple, will be done run away with huge amount of money, go infiltrate, go use all avenues, business people, their big shop, for infiltrate and get their money back into their possession with high volume of exchange. And so as that is happening, we see a lot of hodling. We'll be talking, several times my colleague Kutubu and Madam Lisbeth on the talk about how the former president don't strategize for really get all the loans we don't keep the money, the huge quantum of money we get, forget the money, then they transform to the new money. And we all know for 11 good years, most of the people in business, we don't rub skin with the former government. So they understand there are this tie, this bond. So we always know that this go affect and it will continue for cause the high level of inflation. So we're talking about that. So, but if you join me, remember that out of some very tight schedule, we decide for me to now with this vital information. So share this program far and wide and invite people, invite people to be part of this process, so that we will discuss alone and realize that the conversation is about the country Sierra Leone. It's not about individual. We all want for see Salon in better one. And so if you want for see Salon in better one, that will discuss Salon with decency, with civility, and with calmness. That will make sure say we talk and talk for Salon, talk about Salon, and talk as Sierra Leoneans. So share this live broadcast, invite people, and be part. Send your comments and messages. Above all, hit that star button. Continue to hit the star button to contribute to Salon in development. Because the more you let unity sustainable, the more you get the reality and the fact. So hit the star button and make sure that you contribute to the fact news will they bring, the reality will they bring to now. So let's go to the program proper. So many people they talk about NEC, ECSL, the Electoral Commission, Sierra Leone. What if it don't happen each time where would they get elections? People will not say they have no means for succeed in the election, but do everything within the power for blackmail, for create discord between the citizens and NEC or ECSL, the Electoral Commission. Political parties will not say definitely they have no way of winning election. What they will do, they will come with propaganda, misinform, mislead people, so that even before the process begin, Salon people will lose confidence, and they will use that for cover up their failure, their incompetency. So now, let us talk a little about NEC. You see, I will talk about the laws of the land. The Constitution makes it very clear and very mandatory that NEC is an independent, autonomous body, and nothing enough for influence on nobody, no third party, not for interfere in the job. NEC is so important to the peace, the stability, and the success of a country that the Constitution make a mandatory that nobody, including the president, has no right for influence their action and their operation, no matter whether you be. And that is why whoever is heading such an institution for being nationalistic, patriotic, and consider the well-being of Sierra Leoneans. Now for look at the operation and activities of NEC for be partisan. NEC is for every single Sierra Leonean as long as you're a legitimate and rightful Sierra Leonean. NEC or the Electoral Commission supposed for serve the general interest. And so therefore, before ever you take the office, you have to take the oath of independence, impartiality, fairness, and above all, loyalty to your country and not man. Amen. That country where you serve and your people, now a whole fulfillment is, you see, people forget that whatever we do today is also part of our religious belief. It's part of our religious belief. And so because it's part of our religious beliefs, we have to also know that there's a time we have to depart this world to give account of we still worship on earth. So we services on earth for be overshadowed with the fear of God. We forget God in everything we do. And so that is why when you're given the responsibility for run the affairs of the Electoral Commission, you do them impartially, you do them with fairness, and with the fear of God in your heart, serving your country, putting your country first. This tribal attachment and this whole thing, anytime you see political parties giving so much of report or excuse, oh, this is going on, dispute, discrediting the operations of NEC even before the process, you begin to realize that such political parties are not even prepared, and then they're not fit. They're not fit for be part of the process. I see the APC, they cry, they make you cry. They don't begin complaining even before the game begins. That is because already they know, see, they don't fail. They say, if you plan to fail, you fail to plan. You know, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So I want to let everyone listening to me know that NEC is an independent institution mandated by the Constitution to serve and conduct election. The reason why the Constitution is very, very clear on the independence of NEC, like any other institution, is that we only have one time in the year for authorized individuals to run the affairs of the country. Any error, any mistake, 5 years onwards will affect. Any single error we make in decision making, it will get serious consequences on we as Sierra Leoneans, on our future, the future of we picking them. So it is not about waiting people they talk, oh, the order did it, now this person, now this tribe, now that. It is how the individual put Salon and prioritize Salon. But this whole propaganda, misinformation, talking about order did it, now this is all just to create tension, confusion. So I want to let you know, say, NEC, an independent body, as long as the commissioner there don't take oath to God that Salon in priority, he ready for put Salon above everything with a trust and belief. So nobody not afraid. And me, 100% believe that the process, the electoral process, will be very transparent. It will be very much free, fair, and inclusive. This brings me to the registration. Officially, yesterday will be the last day, as announced by the electoral body, the Electoral Council. National Electoral Council, we don't say Tuesday. I understand there's extension going on, and because at the start of the process, so many challenges, so many complaints in certain areas of the computers, the machines, and a lot of people will be so much energetic. They find it a little difficult on the first week of the registration. And because of all those concerns, we don't see so many petitions and requests asking the National Electoral Commission for extend the registration for at least a week. That is cool. It is very important to show patriotism. And how you show your patriotism is to be part of the electoral process. You go to vote and be willing to be voted for to serve your country. But in doing that, we therefore be sure that the process is peaceful and free from aggression. The process should be free from intimidation and fear. When I was still in a house, where they say, well, you don't get no reason for register. You dey cause yourself pain thereafter. Because at the end of the day, if you refuse to be part of the process, you get yourself a blame at the outcome of the election. But more importantly, the ID card that you ignore go be very needful when you apply for certain services in the country. And that is why everybody for encourage, for urge those who are still contemplating, who are thinking, who are refusing for go and be part of the process, for go out. There will be a time you will need that ID card for travel, for business purposes, for security, for so many things. So I encourage the one that way they out there. We not make up their mind it. For make up your mind now, say you want to be part of Salon in development. Go make a decision we go satisfy you tomorrow. Not sit down and host and say no to your business. If it is not your business, at the end of the day, you get no right. If you refuse to register and vote, they have no reason for criticize or praise because you are not part. When you refuse, it's like denying your right as Sierra Leoneans. So we encourage the one that will not go. And I also want to believe that the one that we don't register, we don't give in and don't make up their mind for register, for also be prepared for understand the electoral processes. And this brings me to the voter education after registration to national election. And that's the reason why mostly we get so many challenges with processes, now lack of proper information and education. And we get the bad people that will always they mess up processes, the information where Sierra Leone people they need. Always they get contrary reports where they bring about processes where for help we country go before. We get evil-minded, satanic, unproductive Sierra Leoneans We just sit down for propagate evil, lies. And so the national election, the National Electoral Commission, for be very aggressive and robust, for educate people about the whole electoral process. Election does start from this registration. The process of election does start. And so we expect National Electoral Commission for be very much engaged with the media, and therefore make sure say every day they're out there updating, informing people about the process. Knowledge is power. Education is very important. The reason why so many things they go wrong in our country, not the low level of education. And so when people are not truly enlightened, the few that are educated go take chance for mislead. And that is what we've seen. Instead of APC putting themselves together, they're just busy on propaganda, misinformation. And so you also get people within other political parties who, instead of embarking to encourage people, that they discourage people with things where they put out. Even within the SLPP. Get people in the way, instead of bringing things positively for impact the country, now news where they discourage people and they put out, which is really unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. So this education, this voters, this electoral education, very important. We get enough time for make with people that understand the reason why they for vote, the importance of the election, the importance of the process, what thing they go on, and why they for own the process. For be very explicit. The process will be communicated in all different languages for the understanding of everyone. Now, even as we go with the process, I also want to talk about the different partnership into the electoral process. Normally, what they bring conflict after election, now the kind people and way they involve into the process, mostly the observers. Those where they say they're not independent observers, we can get an interior motive, can cause conflict, dispute, war, any country. And this is why we they give this early warning sign. Soon, we they begin to see different reports there about the registration process. People will not get the might for observe. Go sit down in one small room, cook up story, and put them out there for flame up and incite people. And one person will normally very good at that now, Marcela Samba of New. Very quick for come out with report where they incite, where they fear up citizens. You see, I always say, observers are not conductors of elections. You can observe and bring out the truth. I'm not against the truth about what you find out in the course of the process. But you have to be very sincere and free from political influence. we don't see these observers in the course of election putting themselves forward as if now then they conduct the election. They want to dictate, want run the election, and they want to run the elections. And most of them, the report that they give, they bring panic. They panic people. So, and we don't need panic in this course of the election. We need people for get confidence, for be free from fear, for go and freely, relaxingly express the feelings through the ballot box. I always say, if you're doing well, you have no reason for fear. If this government believe they've done so well, the decision is in the hands of the Sierra Leoneans for decide, for renew their mandate. If otherwise, they don't see well-organized opposition where they think say get what they want, what they look for, they will go for them. But nobody will not need for us enforce anybody. So we can be very, very careful with those people around the election, with all of the one the way they come around the electoral process. Majority na money making. They write this big project, one for cover the election, but you look at their capacity, their ability for cover the election. Maybe they only get few representatives within the urban areas. So few areas they cover, they can make as if they cover the whole entire country and give a report that is very biased. So one condition and one criteria I think the National Electoral Commission for give, whatever they give accreditation around this election, for being fully capacitated, forget the manpower, therefore cross-check, therefore know their ability, therefore vet them well, for know how capable they are and how independent they are, for contribute to the free, fair, and transparent process of election. And if we really, really scrutinize and check people out, that will help ease tension and make the process easy, smooth, and acceptable to all. And also, national election na something wey very important. Now the bloodstream of the country, the national election is the bloodstream. It's a process that organizes the development plan, the development strategy of the country. So let us be very serious about that. Let us take the education to the least person. We all get obligation, we all get the right, we all get duties to perform, for inform with people with truth. Tell them, encourage them, motivate them. Be you opposition, be you ruling government. You have to do everything. Forget your people believe in the process. If you're not opposition, you will be even more aggressive than the ruling government. Forget your people understand the process, because the aim is to bring a change. You want for change. And so if you don't get the strength, you don't get the support, you're not going to achieve your intention. So Please, I want to take that process very serious. The next topic I want to talk about is this issue of inflation. Every day we wake up, the dollar they go up. In the first place, I think there's serious job to be done for control this issue of inflation. Or else, the purpose why we bring about the new currency will be meaningless. If every day we wake up, dollar they just fly. Of course, one thing I go make very clear is that yes, generally, the whole world is see the rise in dollar. Today we see how close the pound is. First time the pound was so heavy. Now we're talking about dollar equating to the pounds. Yes, we see that there's so much. But as a country, we get obligation. What don't they affect the economic stability for all these years? Now, because we depend too much on importation. Long before we are born, some of us, we talk about the huge volume of export we will make, the cacao, the coffee, the whatever, the rice, but they export. Today, governments before this time will not get vision, not make no national plan for control and stabilize the economy of the country. I always say, Salon, for the longest time, we don't deal without a system. We be run Salon by what do you imagine on net, you wake up with them and implement them. Now, guess will be the guess about Salon problem. What they make other countries like America so progressive now because they get a fixed system that nobody could hardly break. And that is why I stand with the current government with one thing they bring. The reason I resonate with them is that they come and decide to visit the root of the problem. How? With the use of technology. Because I have always said, with the introduction of technology, so many things, including corruption, will be minimized. This hand-to-hand exchange, this paperwork, they cause so much problem in our country, and it cause so much corruption. So much corruption. And so when this government said technology could be the main tool for run the government, I mean knowing the value and how much technology go help for control certain illegality, and how would that help for put a system, a very accountable and open system. I say, okay, something to go with. So when they introduced the innovation, the Office of Innovation, and and today we don't see so many things when I be secrecy about governance. It's no longer the same. First time we get ministries, you go waka, you not go even know what's in the operation, you don't know what they go on. Now with digitalized system, you go sit down here, you browse any ministry on their website, Go see their activities and can raise up any issue with them on their website. So there's this process that we can far and monitor the system. We don't see we driving license don't go digital. So many things they go very digital. That's a good thing. But but with all seriousness, let's say before food, 9 p.m. food they fall. This whole issue about inflation, the government yesterday we don't get so much of money, huge amount of money. They run away with them. They go keep her. Some of them we don't keep her at their house. So when this new money was introduced, when they introduced this new currency, some of will be very quick for jump and say, you know what, this process get for be affected somehow because most of the established business in Sierra Leone, them big businesses, they don't form partnership with the previous government. And some of them are shareholders and some of them are very much connected. So their businesses have to be the channel for all this new money. And so what thing will happen? The government use this same old money, get the new money, and get the dollar for holder. And now they're happy. Information reaching this house, the terrorists say, the former president gets so many channels now where they use, forget that money where we don't put aside. For get her into the system and for lay hand into, for change them to this new money. And when you change them, they buy the dollar. They change the product. Once you get this new money, they go back and get the dollar. Using the street guys. But I always say, not to for can't talk now the issue, but now how you follow. The bank governor be can't tell we say, oh, the street dollar trading, they don't try for, they don't change them. Reliable source, they tell we say it don't much increase now that this dollar, these guys waiting on the street, they change dollar to the point that you don't even, it has become something legitimate, open up with no check. And this is the bad thing about the laws of the land. We get very good laws in the books. The implementation is the problem. The only way for implement and enforce the laws of the. I tell people, unless we get the best, the most unique constitution in the world, if waiting there in the constitution is not fully followed, is not implemented, then it's not useful. It's never meaningful. It's not purposeful. And so, but they talk and say, for the fact that we get people, we get access and the means for get this huge quantum of money we former government officials we don't go with, we will face serious setback in stabilizing the economy. How serious is government for make sure say they put the necessary measures for address this issue? We're still watching. Still watching. Because this is something very serious, because our dollar the dollar not go just continue for the fly like that. Inflation, will be suggest things here and at this platform that monitor all the big businesses, the way they collect money from bank for their daily operations and their returns. What thing that they bring in the evening, we're able to let you know what thing they go on. So we encourage the government for be very serious about this issue of inflation. It cause hardship. It cause so much pressure on people. It cause pressure and it cause tension as well. For so much tension. Finally, we talk about the ongoing issue, the level where the APC court case don't go. Salon not like a club or a small community where people go just feel say, without being properly organized, if I can run am. It is no secret that we all know the problem. We all don't know the APC problem. But my concern is, if you don't decide for address the issue of APC, then you say become a victim. That is very bad. And this is all about Alfred Peter Conte. The APC thing. And this is why we talk about those who criticize. Sometimes people out of the system go talk big things, criticize, condemn, rebuke to the best of their ability with all the energy. They will talk. But when they get into the system transforms them. Instead of them changing the system, the system how they change them. By this time, we be expect say all these outstanding challenges and problems will be there within APC for us be addressed. And APC for the gear up now for put on very strong challenge in the upcoming election. Therefore, don't put their houses together. Therefore, don't organize themselves properly for take on the government. But every day, now ugly development. Now, Peter Conte, you will say APC now this, they're lawless, they know they follow due process, this, so now that make you rise up. Now you be sent to court, you be charged again for contenting the court, the directives. People have to be very serious about what they say. Your words define you. I always tell people, what they come on at you more time, they define you. If you say things that you work contrary, nobody take you serious. When people know you say you waiting, they talk different from your actions, then you become nobody to be taken serious. Now, this all setback, another room for delay in organizing and restructuring the APC. When will this political party realize that they were formed for the purpose of looking after the well-being of Sierra Leoneans, for take Sierra Leone people serious? every political party we set up and we involve and aim for county governance, get for be democratic, get for be very serious. Because if within una circle, una range, una dey in disarray, very few months to the election, when will you be serious? When will you get yourself together? From one court case to another. We be the imagine now say of this time, every court case for don't do, for don't forget, for don't begin see the executive formation from the zonal level, constituency, district, chiefdom to national. When we now go all through this, then how we not serious? How we not want for sure say we not serious for compete in the process? How? But more disappointingly, this is the political party we don't run with country for 11 years. For just go in disarray in no seconds after losing election, it's hard to believe. 11 years. You hardly believe that. Even in opposition, APC go be in disarray. Everybody was all about APC. But for Vandy now so much scattered, with no sense of direction, it's very unfortunate. And so if we blame the government for being a laggard on certain issues, not because we not get a formidable and organized opposition, but take on them. They say, oh, this government, they do things as they did, because not constructive, organized, formidable opposition or day. We go stand up with one voice and say, no, for we people, we go provide this alternative. We say they fall short, we dey go this way, or wait on it. There's nobody's. It's really sad. So when an issue will be addressed, now this is not a fresh case of contempt in the court. And this is why we say, after the ruling official, we take time for explain the consequences if the instructions and the dictate of the court ruling is not duly followed. We talk about the consequences, but people not take them serious. We don't use for say, not to, now above case we can do we own way. We can do these things we own way. And other they affects alone. Everybody want for around the country from the corner which side they fend themselves. We just want for do we own way. So this is a serious issue. Very few months to election, we are still in shambles. What about the one that we support, we believe in, we they look up to now? Every day you're killing the spirit of your supporters. You're killing the spirit of those who believe in you. Because now they give them the assurance, the encouragement. They believe that you are serious for takeover around the country. It's a shame that you can be in governance for 11 years, just having lose power. You can go down and you can be so much scattered to the point that nobody knows where you want for begin for gather and get yourself together. So dear, one foresee every single political party follow the due democratic process Don't foresee a formidable and an organized opposition political parties. See, in life, I always say, if you not get somebody where they criticize, where they condemn, you will end up for do the wrong thing all the time. Any government will not get strong opposition, very constructive and hard criticism, go become complacent and go do things contrary. And that is why we encourage, we urge opposition parties to be very serious, organize themselves, be united. So today I just want to encourage every Sierra Leonean. We all get our own role for play as citizens. Every day, let's pray for our country for the rightful things. Leadership now from God they come out. Sometimes we will cause anytime we cause we leader, we cause God, because the decision to get a leader comes from God. The Bible says, touch not my anointed. We therefore realize that it is not by magic or that who is leading us today is better than all of us. No. Not me say we president better pass you all. He's a servant. But there's a reason why among millions of Sierra Leoneans, God allowed for them to become president. Anytime when you go against leadership, you're telling God that in decision for giving a leader was wrong. So we got to be very mindful the way we do things about leadership. Talk about leaders. Governments begin right from heaven. So God is very particular about leadership. So pray for our country and with leadership. Pray for change and not pray for a cause. When you curse the leader, you're causing they bring cost on our country. Because if anything go wrong, now we suffer. As long as they are in charge, what he can do is God for take hold and direct and transform. Now you no more get the ability for change, Montaman. Go read the book of Proverbs. It talks much more about leadership, about kings and queens. So that will be very serious about salon in business, and that will give in we best for contribute. I'm not saying we're not for criticize and contribute. Criticize with solution. Until we come back next week with Monolog program. I've been yours truly, and I don't enjoy for the with now at this time. And be assured that tomorrow, of course, the usual team go there, and we go elaborate and expand on most of these things we are on discuss and other issues. Imagine issues. You know, so we bring on our issues as they happen. So stay tuned, because there are so many more issues that are coming up that we will be that will be discussed tomorrow. We will discuss them with my colleagues there. So be assured that we are back with you tomorrow, and defeating the lies. You know, we got to come against people who just believe daily their own job and for mislead, for lying. So defeating the lies will expose a lot of things where they go on with not right. So make sure you don't miss tomorrow's program. And then be encouraged that your God-given right should be exercised all the time. I love you all, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.